Warm welcome. This is the Non-Revenue Water Management Conference 2026, and I'm coming to you live from the Lake Naivasha Resort, where we have this conference now for the second day. So right now, I just want you to have a feel of what we have at the exhibition area. So just come with me. As you can see, we have a number of companies that are showcasing cutting-edge technology, all geared towards reducing the non-revenue water in the country. Remember, according to the latest report by WASREB, Kenya's non-revenue water has climbed to 48%. So here we have one of the company's top pipe piping systems that are showcasing their technology. Apart from top pipe, also to notice that we have other companies here. For instance, as you see right here, we have the smart meters. Remember, technology has been cited as one of the initiatives that can be embraced to reduce the non-revenue water in this country. So we do have the smart meters, a company that is showing the latest technology and how we can embrace smart meters. So other companies as well, we do have, just come with me, we have over 80 exhibitors and hundreds of visitors right here. So, for instance, this is Kisumu Water and Sanitation Company. Remember, this is a WASPA conference, and the fact is that WASPA is an umbrella association of all water companies in the country. Financial institutions, because financing of the water sector is very key, and here we have one of the leading companies when it comes to matters technology. So just allow me to engage them. So thank you so much for your time, sir. Just tell us, we see WonderKid Multimedia Limited. What is WonderKid and what do you have for us?
Thank you. It's a technology company. We've been building systems for the water sector for the last 15 years. We have an enterprise solution that's serving 4 countries so far, 26 water companies. And in a nutshell, if you look at that, we've structured it to have different kinds of modules. It also comes AI integrated. Executives do not need to log into the platform to engage with the platform. They can simply chat the same way we do it with ChatGPT. They can engage the platform and get the results, the answers they are looking for on a simple prompt in English. We've designed all this and we've made it available to the utilities that we are working with. And at the conference, we came with a big screen just to show it live. So users have been experiencing it live, and it's really been a great experience.
So let me understand, because we are looking at reducing the non-revenue water levels in the country. So how is your product coming in handy to address this challenge?
Good. So the first thing that we have done as a technology company is to digitize all the utility operations, from production to distribution when it comes to the network, and also the customers, the billing, the meter reading, the meters, and all that. So we have an entire ecosystem that is generating data for the utility, which eventually builds up to what you call non-revenue water analytics. Okay. So we have a whole module that comes with a live Iowa water balance. A live Iowa water balance means they're able to see in real time their production, their non-revenue water, their commercial losses, their unauthorized consumption losses, their meters, and even get down to the DMA level to be able to see statistics of where they're losing water. We've digitized all that.
Your questions?
All the best, WonderKid, and good product that you have right there. Yeah, so that's a WonderKid Multimedia Limited, and remember, we are talking about a reduction of non-revenue water. So other companies right here, you can see some of the latest technology when it comes to piping and piping systems, and we have companies exhibiting right here, and then from there, key stakeholders in the water sector, for instance, Davis and Shatliff, right here showcasing what they do have. So just come with me. Let me engage a representative from Davis and Shatliff just to find out what exactly they are showcasing. So Asante, especially in line with reduction of non-revenue water in context of this conference.
Okay. Oh, okay. Morning. So my name is Samuel Rukwaro, chemical engineer at Davis and Shalif. Davis and Shalif is an ISO certified company. So we basically deal in improving solutions in water and energy. Yeah? So for particularly this conference, we have come up with a package, especially in terms of solar financing. So we realize the biggest demand in supplying water is the energy.
Okay.
So if you use electricity, it's then too costly even to the consumers themselves. So if you pass that price, it's not sustainable. So in order to be sustainable, we have come up with financing whereby for these public and community-owned water utilities, and especially the ones here in WASPA, we are able to come to your site, we design with you with the energy requirement that you need. Then from there, we give you a 20%. You do a 20% deposit. Then we do the 80% ourselves. Then we will do also the contract, the service contract. So we're going to service it for whole of that period. It's a 24 months financing. Then the money that you save from the energy consumption or the energy that you pay with your electricity, you can pay off this financing, and at least you can enjoy as well as you pay. Yeah,
Okay.
so that it can trickle down. As well as we have the abstraction meters, smart meters,
Okay.
especially to enable and monitor the losses that we encounter through the normal meters.
Okay, thank you so much and good job. That's Davis and Shatcliffe showcasing their latest technology and products as well when it comes to non-revenue water. So now this time we are talking of over 80 exhibitors right here and hundreds of visitors coming through. For instance, just to take you through this other side, this is Velo East Africa, one of the companies that is known to have fuel efficient that is energy efficient pumps. So they are right here showcasing the latest technology. And apart from that, we do have Mega Tank and Doshi Water is right here. So you can just see the bat fusion technology right here. And this is all about making sure that we don't have leakages and all that. Then we do have Apex Piping Systems. Apex Piping System is right here with their technology as well, and a
around
number of
60%. So
stakeholders and
what does that
customers
mean? As,
basically just being taken.
as a country that we are losing the revenues that are above over 13 billion shillings every year. So we have an opportunity there that will be able to tap in as a country so that we can improve the financial sustainability without developing any water sources. As previous speakers yesterday and from our CS had mentioned that we are moving to performance-based or results-based financing so that we don't continue financing inefficiencies. We ensure that we are financing the country so that we ensure we are making efficient and infrastructure that will ensure we have a universal coverage. So the Kenya Water Sanitation and Hygiene Program is a program that is operationalizing the National Water Sanitation Investment and Financing Plan. I know you have been told about this, and we are all aware that the NAWASIP is accelerating the universal access to water and sanitation in Kenya, and is implementing the Vision 2030 as well as the Constitution of Kenya to ensure that every Kenyan has a right to water by 2030. So in our SIP, we have 5 components out of it, and KWASH just came in to implement 2 components of the NAWASIP. That is the rural water and sanitation, and also the improvement of financial performance of the water service providers. But today, I will not focus more on the rural water and sanitation. I will focus more on the improvement of the financial performance of the water service providers. And this KWASH is the first in the water sector in terms of the financing mechanism that we are using from the World Bank. We are using a financing mechanism which is called the Performance Program for Results. And this one only is used because we are only certifying the performance. You invest first, you show results, and then you get the disbursements. So this K-Wash is implementing NAWASIP, and within the NAWASIP, in the plan that was adopted by the both levels of government, they had identified in terms of the non-revenue water on the aspects that we should be focused on in terms of reducing non-revenue water by 2030, and also the improvement of the billing and the revenue collection efficiencies. There is also the strengthening of governance and accountability of water service providers, and also the development of the commercial viable creditworthiness utilities, and also the aspect of the mobilizing the private and commercial financing. So out of this, the K-Wash is in 19 counties and the 3 WSPs within the 19 counties. So in terms of building the foundation of the utilities, what we are looking at under the Kenya Water Sanitation and Hygiene Program, the first things first is to ensure that the WSPs that before we disburse any funds to the WSPs, we ensure that they have that particular strong governance first. And what we are looking at in the governance aspect is the aspect of having a valid WASREP license. That's the first thing that we are looking at. And as I told you, that this K-Wash program is structured in a way that it has the disbursement linked indicators, and one of the indicators that we have is what is called the line number 6, the disbursement linked indicator number 6, and that's the one that is looking at with the 33 WSPs before they get the incentive that is from the World Bank, because we have a funding from the World Bank of approximately $250 million in total, and also it's also a financing also from the government of Kenya, which is $200 million. And from the private financing, we are also expecting to get $8 million. So in total, the program is costing around $458 in totality from 2024. It started in 2024 and it's going up to 2030. So within that disbursement linked indicator, where we are financing we are giving incentive to the WSPs who are showcasing the strong performance, financial investment utilities that demonstrates sound governance and accountability as per the WASREP guidelines. Also, there is the valid WASREP license, and there is also having a tariff which has been approved by the regulator. Another aspect that we are looking at under the K-Wash program is having a board, a fully constituted board, compliant with the corporate governance guidelines that have been provided by the regulator. And in this particular board, we are looking at also the aspect of the gender. They must be meeting the gender requirements as per the Constitution of Kenya. They must also have a performance contract with the water service provider, with the county government. Every utility that we are giving them incentive must have a performance contract based on the template that we have provided with them, and they must sign with the Department of Water under the county government. And also the most important one is on this approved performance improvement action plan to showcase where they're heading to in their business-wise. And another aspect is on the disclosure of the audited financial statements in their websites. So these are just not compliance requirements, but they are the investment readiness indicators that reduce the lender risk and also strengthen the investor confidence in going to that particular WSP. So when we have the strong governance, it means that we are reducing the financing risk. Remember yesterday when the Water Secretary was presenting, he had mentioned that what we are lacking as a country is the culture to ensure that we are reducing this non-revenue water. And at the end of this conference, we would like to ensure that all the WSPs bring back that culture to ensure that they invest and reduce in non-revenue water. I want to go deep dive in this, what the first requirement of the performance improvement action plan, what are the the utilities, the requirements in terms of these utilities, the required, what they are required to put in these particular performance improvement action plans. And the first thing is they must mention the operational challenges that they're having as a utility, and one of the aspects they should, as we know as a country, we are having this challenge of the non-revenue water, and that will be the thing that they will show in the performance improvement action plan. There is also, they mentioned the energy efficiency, the billing ratio, the collection efficiency, the staffing costs, and all that in terms of low service coverage. And after they have mentioned the challenges that they are having, they need to come up with the investment priorities in that particular performance improvement action plan. In terms of maybe they want to do district metered areas, this one has been talked about more, and also the smart metering, the pressure management, the leak detections, the SCADA management, and also the network rehabilitation, so that they ensure there is less non-revenue water. The expected outcomes out of that will be reduced non-revenue water, the improved operational efficiency, and also the leading to high revenues and improved operation cost coverage ratio. So this performance improvement action plan is a business case that guides the utilities in terms of investments, and it forms the basis of mobilizing the private finance in terms of the commercial and also the private sector. As K-Wash, I've mentioned severally that we are just incentivizing the financial performance of our water service providers. In that, so we have an indicator. So we have moved from one of the indicators that was talking of the governance issues. So we are now talking in terms of incentivizing the water service providers in terms of improvement of their financial performance. When a WSP improves their operational cost coverage ratio is when we come in now and give them an amount of money that they will now go and put in terms of implementing their performance improvement action plan priorities that they had given. So in the operation cost coverage ratio, how it is measured is that whatever there is operation revenue, and then you divide by what is the operational expenses. If it is more than 100%, that means you are meeting the operation revenue, operation cost of the WSP. So this OCCR matters because it covers the operation costs, it generates operational surpluses and maintains the infrastructure, and it shows that the WSP servicing the debt obligations, and also it's a factor that's attracting the commercial financing, also the private financing. When you have a higher OCCR, it will attract the commercial financing. So when we link this to the non-revenue water is that when you reduce non-revenue water, it will automatically lead to higher billed water, and that means you will have higher revenues and increased revenue, and also you will improve your cash flow, as well as having the higher OCCR and also better creditworthiness. So at the end of the day, as we are not focusing much on the non-revenue water alone, we are looking at the whole summary of what the WSP are doing in terms of, so that they can improve their operation cost coverage ratio. So every percentage that we reduce in non-revenue water will automatically lead to a good financial position over WSP. Another indicator that we are looking at, that we are having under the Kenya Water Sanitation Agent program, and that we are financing for the utilities, is the one that is allowing the utilities to mobilize private and commercial finance by doing a project in their performance improvement action plan, so that they develop a bankable investment. And that bankable investment must have a design, must have an environmental social impact assessment. They do all those requirements as per the statutory laws. They must have, if it is an abstraction, they must hold the WRA abstraction permits and all that to show that this project is bankable, and that project must be within the performance improvement action plan that they shared in the disbursement linked indicator number 6 in terms of the governance. So a WSP then will go to a bank or a private partner and secure a financing from that particular partner. And the K-Wash now comes in terms of providing the financing by giving a 50% of it interest-free. So if a WSP had gone to a commercial bank and they get the project cost was costing 100 million, so as K-Wash will come in and will give them, if it was 100 million at 13% interest rate, we'll come in as K-Wash now and give them 50 million at 0% interest rate. So that means we are reducing the interest rate by half, and all these monies are returnable. So this is just a blended financing we are giving them, and de-risking the investments. So we are just transforming the public finance as a catalyst for the private investments. So this mechanism, the KYC that we are having under DLI number 8, is to ensure that we mobilize the private capital and we reduce the dependence on the grants and promote commercial viable investments, and we accelerate the non-revenue water reduction. So all these matters in terms of non-revenue water reduction, because we cannot continue to depending on the investment project finance whereby we are given money and then we do the investment. So that one we are moving away from it, because we are going to performance-based or program-based investments, so that we close that particular infrastructure gap. We were told yesterday that, and we know that the problem is that we don't have money to do investments for these particular utilities. The money is there. It's only that how we structure ourselves to ensure that we are commercially viable, so that we can go for these particular monies in the private sector and the commercial banks that are available for us to ensure we have sustainable access to water and sanitation. So we are, as K-Wash, we are creating utilities that are able to finance the non-revenue water reduction through the commercial financing, and also we are trying to forego the traditional financing. So as you can see, the K-Wash approach is linked to verifiable performance and measurable results. And what we are looking also, just to speak about the other one that I didn't speak about, rural water and sanitation, and remember there was a question on terms of the non-revenue may be attributed to the WSPs and the counties not having the designs. So what we are doing under the K-Wash program is that before we even give you anything, even for the counties, they must show that they have a fully designed report that has been signed off by a professional engineer who is registered under the Engineers Board of Kenya. So that is a requirement, and also for the WSPs, that's also a requirement for them to get this DLI number 8 in terms of the private financing. So we are also intensifying stronger governance. We are encouraging that we have stronger governance, because we know when we have stronger governance, we'll have better financial performance and mobilization of private investments. So we are focusing more on financing infrastructure to finance utility performance. So this K-Wash is demonstrating that it's a financing model for Kenya, and it's a results-based financing platform, which I've mentioned that we are encouraging stronger governance through the indicator, one of the indicators, and also there's financial sustainability, and also mobilizing the private and commercial capital. And we are creating bankable utilities capable of attracting commercial finance, and we accelerate the reduction through performance-based investments. As you all know that when we have strong governance, we have improved financial sustainability, as well as we'll have increased private capital investment, and we'll have the bankable water utilities, and as well we'll accelerate the reduction of non-revenue water, as well as accelerate the attainment of the sustainable water access. So we are looking at non-revenue water as an investment that improves utility performance, and as well as unlocking the commercial and private capital. As I close, we are saying that as K-Wash, every cubic meter saved is a new revenue for water loss reduction. We must ensure that we have financial sustainability, we have the stronger utilities and increased investments, better customer service, and universal water access. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our speaker, for this session, and those who have joined us, we welcome you to this session. Allow me to, with the guidance, that we can pick 2 or questions for our speaker, as I'll be inviting our panelists. Are there any quick 2 questions to our speaker? Then we'll be able to introduce our panelists. Teresa. Thank you. As we prepare to ask the questions, for those who have joined, we request that we all move up front so that we occupy the seats here to enable us to have more engaging discussions, as well as for our brand and visibility. So please, for those of you who are seated at the back, we request you to come and fill in. There are many seats at the front. I've seen a hand there and another hand, so that we are able to identify. So there's one hand there. The other question? Right, go ahead.
Good. My name is Simeon Ogamba. I work with Children's Investment Fund Foundation. And thank you, Engineer Bernard, for that presentation. We're also thinking towards, or rather we're doing results-based financing. But the challenge that we're facing, we're not working with the WSPs as of now. But we are working with rural communities and governments and all that. How do you manage to pre-finance? How do the WSPs manage to pre-finance? I think that is the biggest challenge that we are facing. And I would like to hear how you are managing that. Thank you.
Another question? I believe we have picked that question from Bana Ogamba. Another question on the presentation that has been made? Right, so allow me to give it to the speaker to respond on the question that has been asked by Bana Ogamba from SIF, as we shorten it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will respond to the question in terms of how we'll pre-finance the WSPs. So, as I had said, in terms of what we are looking at, the structure of K-Wash, what we are looking at is a WSP that has a bankable proposal. Say that WSP first must go to a commercial bank or a private partner with that bankable proposal, and if they get an offer for a loan, that is where we come in. So if they are not, if the private person cannot accept their proposal, then there is no mechanism that is under KYC that will come in. We will only come in after the private partner has accepted the proposal, so that we can give them the 50% of the project cost. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I believe that we believe we have answered the question, and there is more time to have a question and answer session that will be coming after our panelists have presented. For those who are joining, we are kindly requested that we occupy the seats up front. I don't know whether we can take 1 or 2 minutes to request those who are at the back to kindly move up front. We request so humbly. It is also because of photography and to enable us to have a visibility for this session. So as you move up front, I just want to also update you about the session. It's about discussing. We have had technical issues being discussed under non-revenue reduction. Now we are in the financing space. How then do we ensure that these innovative models really work for the sector, not only to guarantee sustainable water access and sanitation, but to ensure that our utilities are meeting their operation cost? Because as presented, one of the key things is also governance. How then do we ensure our utilities are applying the right governance structures to enable us also attract private sector financing. For those who have actually heeded our call, we thank you very much. Allow me, our participants, to now introduce our panelists for this session, starting with the CPA, June Munyao. CPA June Munyao is the MD, Kitui Water and Sanitation Company, and CPA comes to us with diverse experience in managing a water utility. As she comes, we can give her a round of applause. Let's appreciate our panelists. And we'll request that CPA sits at the center because we are talking money matters. And money is at the center of everything that we do. Secondly, allow me to introduce Leonard Obuna. Leonard is the Innovative Wash Finance Manager at Aqua for All. Leonard is also a CPA, and when money issues are discussed, CPAs are very keen on the numbers. So let's appreciate Leonard as he comes on board. Our third panelist is Ms. Ruth Onyango. Ruth is the technical officer at KIFWA. Ruth comes with a lot of diverse technical expertise on issues related to wash financing. So welcome, let's appreciate her as she comes to join the panel. Also allow me to have Sam Otieno, who is representing the MD or the CEO for Upstart Sacco, and Sam is the Marketing and Business Development Manager at Upstart Sacco. Sam, feel welcome. Let's appreciate him as he joins the panel. Last but not least, I also allow me to welcome our panelists whom we have requested to join us, and that is Pascal Nwanjiku, the bank task team leader, not only for K-Wash program, and she also participates supporting other World Bank funded programs, or what we call portfolio at the bank. Welcome, Pascaline. Thank you very much, our panelists. And in this session, we'll want to engage, giving each of our panelists about 5 minutes each. And to our panelists, we'll request that as you engage with our participants, what we'll be looking forward to are the commitments. Yeah, such disruptions are very good, especially when money matters are being discussed, because we still concentrate without being distracted, isn't it? So allow me to start with the first panelist on my very far right. This is my far left, yes, my far left, and that is Ruth Onyango. With regards to the sub-beam that we have just had the presentation on, in your own experience, KIFWA has been at the center. If you will explain some of the successful projects proposals that water utilities that have attracted private financing and upscaled have had, and how these experiences have shaped the new proposals that are currently under consideration. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. As you've heard, I'm coming from KIFWA, that is Kenya Innovative Finance Facility for Water, established mainly to support utilities prepare bankable proposals that can attract private finance. So to answer your question or to put things in context, I want to start with the question that Ogamba asked, that how do the utilities pre-finance these activities, because before they get to that milestone where they can now get the results-based finance, then they have to pre-finance these activities. Now, that is the space where KIFWA plays. We come in with the financing, a concessional debt, or patient capital to facilitate that, because we come in at early stage to help you prepare bankable proposals. So we come in at the project preparation phase. we've listened to what K-Wash program is doing, and clearly there is a step-by-step process that is done, and the utilities are incentivized at given milestones. Now, a bankable or a proposal that can attract private finance meets all that has been shared with us from K-Wash. But then the part where now you get to prepare bankable proposals, meaning you're supporting the development of detailed feasibility studies, that's the technical design, the ESIA, the socioeconomic studies, getting WRA licenses, and just ensuring that the structuring of the project is such that it can attract private finance. That is a place where we play in. We come hold your hands, get you through this. We finance you to get this deliverable, which then now you can submit to the private sector for the actual financing. The infrastructure financing now comes at that point. Now, we facilitate you, we finance you, we give you this patient capital to prepare a banking proposal, which again now you can take to the private sector. We can also introduce you to that private sector, help you in structuring the investment. But it must speak, it must answer the question that, is it a bankable business? That is the question that the private sector wants wants answered. Is it a bankable business? We support you through that, but at the end of it, our money comes back. So it is important for us that the utility also demonstrates the interest or their commitment by also participating in all this, but we work this together. So the pre-financing comes from us, but at the end of the day, when now the program reimburse you, then you get our money and we support another utility. So we come in as an enabler, an accelerator, because these programs are time-bound. You know, you only have this period, like this one is supposed to go up to 2030, you say? So up at the point of getting 2030, how many utilities would have submitted bankable proposals, would have been financed, and would have received the subsidy? If we are late, then this money will go back. So to fast track this, to accelerate this, we come in, work with you, prepare bankable proposals, get your money, and utilize these facilities because they exist. What we lack are bankable proposals.
Thank you very much, Ruth, for sharing that experience and building on that shared experience. Allow me to touch base with Leonard. We are in the space of innovative financing. As Aquafall, what blended financing initiatives do you have with utilities, and how does this help utilities to develop bankable projects towards non-revenue reduction? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Leonard Obuna. I work with Aquafall as a WASH finance manager. I work with financial institutions in East Africa. Aquafall is a Dutch foundation that uses catalytic capital to grants to catalyze private capital from private funds, financial institutions. We also work directly with enterprises through smart grants from proof of concept to scale. In Kenya, we have various projects with the financial institutions, Coop Bank, National Bank, Family Bank, and KCB. We have a special program for utilities, a results-based financing program for utilities that is co-funded by Aquafall and Water.org. We also have WASPA as a key stakeholder in the program, as well as VEI, who helps us with the results measurement. So in this program, we provide 25% results-based finance as a payment to the utility upon successful implementation of an infra project. The project targets 3 thematic areas, one being non-revenue water, energy transition, and last mile connectivity. So it is a results-based finance program together with technical assistance. The technical assistance provided by water.org is used to prepare projects. One of the challenges banks face, or banks tell us, is that there's lack of bankable projects. So we've onboarded specialists, engineers, and financial consultants who help come up with financial models, prepare proposals to the bank. And then once the bank finances the program, Aqua for All pays 25% of the loan amount. This amount is already with Co-op Bank. Through this program, we've been able to get approvals for 5 proposals from Nakuru Water, 2 proposals, Kakamega, Tiwasco, and also Nyeri Water. We also have a pipeline of 15 projects from various water utilities that are being prepared by consultants. And within the pilot period of 3 years, we intend to finance at least 15 projects. So we are looking at small to medium-sized projects that are targeting non-revenue water and energy transition. And these projects are easy to conceptualize and easy to bring to a financial close. What we've seen, we've also been able to negotiate as stakeholders to obtain a favorable interest rate from the commercial bank, Co-op Bank. And we are looking to close at least 15 projects within 3 years of the pilot phase. We also intend to scale in the coming years to more utilities and more projects, and we also seek to enhance the pool of results-based finance so that utilities can benefit from up to 35% of the results-based finance. One key element of this program is that the results-based amounts that we put with Co-op Bank serves a dual purpose. One, it serves as collateral for the bank, so it sits with the bank until the loan is finally paid. So it mitigates the risk towards the bank, but it's also now comes in as an incentive at the end of the loan repayment to the water utility to be used as either collateral for the next loan or to finance any other project that is on the pipeline.
Thank you, Bwana Leonard. And building on that, you have shared with us a couple of successes as well. Now to CPA June, who is a beneficiary of the K-Wash program as Kitui Water. There are those financing approaches that the water utility has found to be most effective in supporting NRW reduction. What lessons as a utility would you like to share, and those utilities that are also participating in this program can learn from to enhance non-revenue reduction through innovative financing initiatives?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that question. I would start by saying that this program, K-Wash, one of the intentions, as you heard when our brother was presenting, was to improve the financial sustainability of the WSPs. So with that, it is important to note that it is under that basis that Kitpo own source revenue, at least to invest towards non-revenue water, even before any disbursement from the government and the bank, was the issue of the tariff review. So that is one thing that we must get right. It really supported us, and actually, out of those improved revenues, we could go around using our own source revenues to replace some meters, do a bit of creation of DMS, which again saw our OCCR improving from 52% to 96% in the last impact report. The other form of financing that we have been using, still based on the PAPs and the program, is the performance-based budgeting, because you have to have a budget line specifically for non-revenue water reduction and all the other activities that you are supposed to do within your approved PAPs. We will not forget the role of the county government of Kitui, which has supported us again on asset renewal programs, where we are doing proposals to our own county government, and they are giving us pipes to replace the worn-out infrastructure. That is another form of financing, still on non-revenue water deduction. Still under the program, now we'll be getting disbursement, and I know we received our phase 1 disbursements out of the governors, so that is another source. And again, the blended financing, which will come out after we do DLR 8 on the bankable proposals. Now, the lessons are many. As an institution, using our own sources of revenues, we've come up with several DMS. I would wish to report that around November last year, we had one of our DMS which had an average of around 55%, 40 to 55% of non-revenue water. And on managing with true data and committed workforce, we managed, I think, for last month, that DMA had a non-revenue water of 18%. So the lessons here is that we must have the right data so that we make informed decisions, especially on non-revenue water. You must know your real causes. Is it technical? Is it commercial? Because if you get it wrong there, you'll now be treating the wrong disease. The other thing is about the networks. One of the brothers there was talking about the engineering, and to me, I think those are the networks. If you don't know where your pipeline passes, you would be a doomed character, because the pipelines carry the water. So if you don't know where your water passes, that is another problem. Then the issue of treating non-revenue water as an investment rather than a cost. Because again, if you are reducing non-revenue water, we need to see growth in revenue. And this now comes with the mindset change. Why do we always talk about non-revenue water? Why are we not talking about revenue water? Because to me, that would be better. When you have a non-revenue water of 40, and you are saying your non-revenue water is 40, it will sink better when you say your score is 60%. Because all of us know 60% is not an A. So that is about the change of mindset and believing on ourselves that we can change. I know you've been looking at the impact reports. What I will say, the time is now ripe for Kitui. We have the right governance, right from the governor, from the board. I saw our CEO was here, one Mr. Napolo Sami, at the Tanadi Waterworks board. So the governance is also an issue when it comes to where do you want to go as a WSP in management of non-revenue water. Then again, the right staff and attitude and commitment. Non-revenue water needs to be treated abnormally. Yeah, I know one day during COVID, that word used to be used. You don't need to treat it normally. Because if you treat it normally, it will treat you abnormally. You must go out of your way. You must be a committed staff, reading meters almost daily. And that is not a very easy job. So I would say to my fellow WSPs that a journey of 100 miles starts with a single step. I know there are years, 3 years down the line, Kituasco and revenue water used to be in the levels of 60s, 70s. We are now at 46%, according to the last year's impact. And the sky for us is the limit. Using our own source revenues, we have known the problems. And we've discovered that non-revenue water, again, you can't manage it on your own. You have to have others to support you. So I would be very unfair to myself if I don't have a parting shot to the investors in the room by telling them we are looking forward upon you to support us. For the first time, Kitui was rated on creditworthiness. I will not say the rating, but at least we were rated. So that shows we are moving in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Let's appreciate Kitui team. From 45 in one of the DM areas to being creditworthy rated, I think the experience is good for us all. Now, to our panelists, Sam Otieno. On-source revenue is one of the parameters that you utilize to assess the viability of financing a utility. In this, what financing approaches, I would say, in your own experience, do you leverage SACCO-based financing to bridge the gap between cash flow constraints and high upfront capital requirements for non-revenue reduction projects as a SACCO? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator. My name is Sam. I work at Upstar SACCO. Upstar SACCO gains its roots from the water sector, the founders being the people in the agriculture, water, and livestock. So water is the core of our SACCO. Basically, we have supported the water sector in terms of lending to our members, who are 85% coming from the water sector, having a portfolio of around $500 million, which we have managed to successfully finance most of their initiatives and projects. The SACCO is picking up well in terms of corporate membership. This is an area that we are coming in very strong. We are looking towards having a lot of initiatives in this particular area, since one of our core value is innovation, and we say that innovation is our business. We have really succeeded in partnerships and collaborations, both locally and internationally, which has come a long way to help bridge the financing gap to the projects that we support. For instance, we have successfully implemented renewable energy projects in collaboration with GIZ, an international partner, through grants and incentives. We had started an initiative where we were calling upon the WSPs who wish to solarize their operations to cut on the electricity costs, to take advantage of this collaboration that we have with GIZ, because they offer a subsidy in terms of the capital that is required. The other area that we have successfully implemented is the agri-based, where we support agri-based initiatives through partnerships with another international organization, ASELI Africa, SNV. This is an area where we are providing incentives to people undertaking agri initiatives, irrigation being one of them. And this is an area that we'll be approaching WSPs to see how we can be able also to partner with them. So these partnerships and collaborations have come in between to provide financing. And in this particular case, these two cases, we are talking about grants, which come through the SACCO as a conduit to finance these projects. These grants go a long way in subsidizing the lending costs. You find that if the interest rates are a bit high, but the grants come in to bridge in some of the costs that are related to the projects. So the other innovative approach that we are taking, we are seeking partnerships with local manufacturers, where we come and do memorandum of understandings, where we do price and discounting initiatives for our members, so that we can also guarantee on the quality of equipment that they get from these particular suppliers. So as a SACCO, we have set aside around 350 million, which we have secured from the Kenya Development Corporation, which is assisting SMEs, WSPs being among them, to fund most of the initiatives. So the SACCO has been a conduit in terms of financing. We have been a bridge between international donors and the end users. And we have success stories from the last mile entrepreneurs who have benefited from these initiatives. We are based across the country. We have 9 branches across the country. Our headquarters is at Ukulima Cooperative House in Nairobi, and we'll be visiting the WSPs to see how best we can be able to collaborate with them to ensure that the NRW projects are financed. So we have the capacity as Upstar SACCO, and through these innovations, which include collaborations and partnerships, this is an area that these WSPs can be able to benefit from and be able to take advantage of the incentives and the subsidies that come through these partnerships.
Thank you very much, Sam, for sharing that. You do realize that the supply side seem to be adequate. As we go along in this discussion, we also want to have a reflection from a design perspective of our programs. And my question will be to our panelist, Pascaline, that in the design of innovative result-based financing, KWASH being an example, P4R for the water sector, what are some of the strategies that the World Bank deploys in engaging both state and non-state actors towards successful implementation or of NRW programs? Over to you. Thank you.
I think it's good now. All right. So maybe before I answer that question, which perhaps I'm not even the best person placed to answer it, it should be someone from government, and I'll come to that. I just wanted to emphasize on something that was asked earlier on by SIF on pre-financing a performance for results program. So let me first say that K-WASH is a big program. It's really a rural WASH program, but we have this component, which we are dwelling on in this conference, which is for WSPs and improving the financial performance of WSPs. So how does it work? We all understand that as much as we are telling government, implementing entities, go and implement and bring the results, and then we disburse based on a figure that has been pre-agreed with the relevant entities. There might not be all that money, especially when there's a culture or not a culture of financing enough, right? I think most of the WSPs, by virtue of them not performing too well, do not hardly have any money for investments. So what do they rely on? They rely on, some few funds coming from the county government or from the national government through implementation that is done, particularly through WWDAs. So we designed the program together with this in mind. If you, for those of you who are both in the presentation by Kirui, but also the presentation that I made yesterday, for this particular component, you see we have 3 DLIs. DLI number 6 is on governance. It's basically on reforms and planning. Governance and preparing a comprehensive performance improvement action plan. I don't know what your guess would be on how much it would cost a WSP to do that. Maybe we could even hear from my stellar performer, MD Kitui. It doesn't cost much. The cost is in actually making the right decisions, agreeing to do the reforms that have been so difficult to do. Having that license, having that tariff, having that board established in the right way, having a performance contract between the county water department and the WSP, those things don't cost money. But yet you will get, the only cost is on doing the performance improvement action plan. But even if a WSP was to hire a consultant, even a firm, to help them do the performance improvement action plan, at the end of the day, how much money would they spend? Yet they get quite a significant disbursement once they have done this. That money is then the pre-financing, right? It is the one that they will then use. It is the one that MD June here will use for doing investments on DLI number 7, which is implementing the PIAP, basically, those infrastructure works. So that combined with the amount that the proactive ones will see the money and they will actually plan for it. I will budget because I know once I budget and invest, I will get more money. It just needs you to see the big picture, both from the county. In fact, even a county can decide, I'm going to finance my Kitui water because I can see that the money will come. So that's the logic of it. So that's you can use the DLI number 6 money disbursement together with the budget that the WSP or the county will have set aside to do the investments. And that way you keep cycling back the money. DLI number 8, we understand that if we were to ask for the DLI number 8 is the one for private financing or commercial financing. If we were to ask for the end results, then it would become complicated, because that means that the WSP has to get the full loan from the commercial bank, implement, and then get the results. So for this one, we agreed that the disbursement is based on signing the agreement with the bank. I think that's fair enough, right? So you can see that there is sufficient money to be cycled back, and an incentive significant enough for a WSP to look for money from anywhere. Again, there's a lot of flexibility. If there's a private entity that is saying, I can work with you, I can pre-finance, pay me based on results. Pay me based on the revenues that I generate for you. Then a WSP can go ahead with this. And if anything, they actually get disbursement. They will get the results faster. They will tap. Remember, there's no assigned money for any WSP. It is a pot that you tap into. And so when MD June decides to get all the support that she can see from this room, and run faster, that means that she will tap into that pot and get as much as she can. There's nothing that holds you back. So really, that is where the performance angle comes. And I did that on purpose so that I have very little time to talk about stakeholders. That's not true. So in designing P4Rs fast, the bank does not design programs. It's really the government. We support the government to design the program. So the process is quite long. We start with the concept for a program comes from the government, through the National Treasury. I know we have gotten, so many people approach me and why don't you support us on this? We do not do direct support to any entity, government or non-government. So the fact that it is coming from government, the government already comes with a proposal. This is the kind of support that we are looking for, or the kind of financing. And then, of course, we refine it along the way, and we come with an agreement on that design. We try as much as possible to involve other partners. Of course, our primary engagement is with the government, not the national government, but both levels of government. So once we know what the scope of the program is, we definitely are working with, in our case, the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation. We go down to the State Department of Water and Sanitation, and then all the relevant agencies, the WASREB, the WSTF, and all the WRA, all those agencies, we discuss with them. And of course, the World Bank, I think you know, is working a lot with county governments and WSPs. So to us, these people are brought on the table from the onset. Because we already know that there's a lot of partners that are working in different ways with the client, we encourage the government to involve these as much as possible. Of course, we get a lot of direct requests, including during this conference. I have so many people coming to me, how can we work together? Yes, we will listen, but at the end of the day, it has to come through our client. And we actually encourage very, very much. We encourage you all in the room. Let's come, let's work together. Let's support our government to have the best approach in all this. Please, if you see an opportunity to leverage on K-Wash, we are happy. We do not say it is our program and it is for us. No, we are very happy. If there's even financing, we are happy to open up the boundaries so that we can do co-financing. So we are very happy to collaborate with everyone, private or NGOs or any level of engagement. We are happy to work together. And I think we are already working with quite a number of other actors. Thank you, Eli.
Thank you very much, Pascaline, for that. One of the key things is that we design from the government side, but as we design, what flexibility have we put in so that as we refine our programs for support in terms of financing, then do we put NRW at the center of that we do? My quick summary will be that there is technical assistance coming from Kifwa. Are we utilizing that? From Kitui, there are lessons on source revenue, governance, support of the county governments. from Aqua for All. Limitation in bankable projects. Supply is there, but there's limitation in bankable projects. Are we challenged that within this conference, what will be your bankable NRW project that you want to present? From the SACCO, you have had it. 350 million available. What are we looking at? We need to reduce our energy footprints. How then are we tapping on it? Because some of it, as we address NRW, we are looking at making our attempts towards climate resilience. You have heard of the flexibility. You have heard of the need to engage at different levels of both national and sub-level government. I now want to open up for our participants to ask questions, and we'll be giving you about 2 minutes each, and make your questions concise and to clear so that they will be picked from panelists. I will want to take a round of 3, then we take another round once the panelists have responded. So let us start from this end. I see another one. Is that a hand at the back? Okay, there's a hand at the back, and then, okay. Yes, there is a hand there as well, and there. Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Nicholas Kimali. I'm the founder of Ubuntu Water Hub Africa. So I have 3 questions. Number 1, when you talk of financing, especially in innovation and in the water sector, we know that we have problems, as Jane has said, and that is in the water sector. We as engineers here in Kenya have, come up with designs, with products that can help mitigate these problems. For example, at Ubuntu Water Hub, we started manufacturing the water ATM. I think I have had, conversations with some of you. We started manufacturing water ATMs in 2022 as a concept. Right now, we are the biggest manufacturers of water ATMs in Kenya. And what financing did we receive? 0. Because when we ask for financing for R&D, you don't have that factored in. No, like all of you will, come up with ways, oh, we finance this, we finance that. But the core thing that needs to be financed, which is the R&D, we are not financing that. If you go to this conference, go everywhere, most of the meters that you can see here, they're coming from China. They are being financed by their governments, by their financial institutions. But here in Kenya, who is financing innovators to come up with these solutions? That is my number 1 question. My question number 2, this is a very sensitive question, because when you think of financing, especially as an entrepreneur, you think of this thing called mzungu for hire. Because when you go to a financial institution, sometimes there are so many red tapes. They will not tell you no, but there are so many red tapes that make you think, should I just have a mzungu partner, and then they come and I get the financing? This is something everybody's talking about. We cannot say that it's not there. It is something a lot of people are talking about. And then you realize, I'm spending a lot of time trying to chase financing. Let me just concentrate on cash flow for my business. Let me concentrate on how to model my business instead of chasing this financing that never comes. Or if it comes, it's just kidogo tu. So how do you support us? Also innovators, like local innovators, people who have the skills to come up with even the prepaid water meters. We can make them. We have made the water ATM. We have proven to you this is a product we started from scratch, an idea. Now it is a product. We are in 26 counties. How do you now invest in us as local innovators? Because we are not the only company. There are other companies that do the same thing, but they're receiving 0 financing. Number 3, now when it comes to financing of projects, how do you do your due diligence? Because some of the projects, there is one of the counties, we're told, go and install these water ATMs. We go there, we install the water ATMs, but we asked questions, why do you have a kiosk in the middle of a forest? There are no people here. We installed over 20 ATMs in one county. How many are working right now? 2. just two. It doesn't mean that the rest are not working. It's because there's no water. There's no resources. You know, these guys, like, it was just a project, I don't know, but two are working at the moment. So you find that this money could have been used to do a better, you know, project instead of just financing, I don't know what to call these projects, but, you know, projects that are not even bringing in any revenue. So how do you do your due diligence when you are going to finance? Thank you. Those are my three questions.
Thank you, and I believe we take note of the questions. To the other participants, let's try and keep it short so that we give more for the discussions. Over to you. There was a hand at the back. Over.
This is Shadrach from Family Bank, and thank you for the good discussion for the team. A very wonderful, innovative financing that is going on. Now, my question is to Pascaline. Under the K-Wash program, you are targeting the 33 water utilities, mostly are rural-based water utilities. And when you look at even the WASREB ranking of these water utilities under the creditworthiness, they are not that in terms of good creditworthiness. And also as commercial bank, those are some of the things that we are looking at in terms of the creditworthiness to provide these financial facilities to them. So what are some of the de-risking mechanisms that you can work with the commercial bank that ready to finance this water utility to these WSPs that may not have good creditworthiness, but they are participating in this program? And because I believe that we as commercial bank, we are ready. We have even interacted with the majority of these participating WSPs. So we are ready to partner together to assist in terms of the de-risking mechanism for us to finance this under the K-Wash program. Then my question is to the KIFIA, Grace from KIFIA. You have said that you have assisting the water utilities under the MSMEs to develop the bankable project to the banks. Do you also assist the startup or the utilities or maybe the MSMEs who are providing the water services, but they were dormant at some point? And one of the things as a commercial bank, sometimes we are always reluctant to finance a dormant, maybe a water utility or a water project, because one of the things that we look at is your financials for the last 12 months. How do you assist or how do you provide the mechanism so that the bank can also have the confidence in financing those projects? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there another hand that is up so that we give it to our panelists to be able to respond? I believe those are 4 questions, and the other one from the bank is like 2 in 1, and already the panelists, you have been identified to respond to the same. But allow me to go to the first one that was asked by our colleague from Ubuntu Water Hub. The issue of zero financing, and I will want to give this aspect to Leonard on the Aqua for All, and then the innovators financing. We want to give it to Sam. How can you support innovators in financing? Then, on projects design, the due diligence where we are citing, I want to give it to CPA June because this is largely done at the water utility level. Then to Pascaline, there is a question on the risking, and then to Ruth on the question of dormant water utility. I think we take in that order. Thank you. Over to you.
Thanks, engineer from Ubuntu, and for the wonderful work you're doing in digitizing water. At Aqua for All, we do have 2 departments, financial structuring department where I sit, but there's also the market development department that deals directly with enterprises. So through this department, we do call for proposals through our socials. But in August this year, we'll be calling for proposals from enterprises. And this should be growth enterprises. And I agree with you, in most cases, impact investors and commercial financiers have not been able to fund research and development, research and design, or initial stages of projects. But we're making a call in August, and we hope that you can take advantage and apply for that call. We will have a pre-call at the Majipreneur Summit in Uganda, but also in August we'll be making a call for East Africa, and specifically Kenya. So we look forward for you to apply. On the commercial financing side, banks normally look at the cash flows when financing. Enterprises, especially early stage enterprises, struggle a lot with lack of collateral and strained cash flows, which is difficult to mitigate. But as Aqua for All, we've come in to enable these banks to focus on cash flow lending instead of the conventional collateral lending. We provide de-risking instruments, first loss capital. For example, we've given Family Bank some first loss capital to secure a wash portfolio. So, and this is targeting SMEs, as well as small-scale water service providers, community water service providers. You can go to the bank and ask for a facility, and we will secure part of that facility. But we also provide capacity building for the bank and the bankers to appreciate the wash sector and the sector players, especially SMEs operating in the sector. So they perceive the sector to be very high risk, but through continued engagement, especially from impact investors like us, they've been able now to appreciate that this is a revenue generating sector worth investing in. It's a long shot. We're still working on addressing the various challenges in the banking sector, including the high interest rates. But on a deal-to-deal case, Aqua for All can come in through a financial institution to either de-risk or help secure the lending from a financial institution. But we work through the banks just for sustainability.
Thank you very much. We can give it now to Sam to respond on the issue of risk.
Okay, thank you so much, Ubuntu. What I want to say is that it has always been unfortunate that corporates usually go to the banks as a first-stop shop when they require financing, forgetting that SACCOs are here to also support these kind of initiatives. SACCOs are moving from the model where you find that it is individual-based, and they're embracing more corporate initiatives. You find that at Upstar SACCO, we have a section on SMEs where we onboard corporates. We have corporate memberships where we look at the initiatives these corporates are undertaking. Then we'll also have funds to see whether whatever funding that we are providing to these corporates are secure. One, SACCO model has always been a deposit multiplier, but we are moving away from that. We are saying that if you are corporate and you have collateral, you have ability to pay. Those are the simple, basic processes that we have at our SACCO. And if you look at our core values, simplicity is also one of them. We try to simplify the lending process to ensure that we look at, are you eligible for the loan? Is the loan secured through collateral? Is there ability to pay? And there is no much bureaucracy that you'll be able to find. So I encourage companies and organizations to also try SACCOs and see their lending processes so that they can also benefit from these other international partnerships and collaborations that those organizations are now channeling through the SACCOs. So in terms of Ubuntu, we're able to lend to your organization to support your initiatives. Maybe we'll be visiting you to see how best we can partner. as you come in as a corporate, so that we can be able to see the initiatives that you're doing. Because Upstar Circle is here to support the water sector, not only the individuals, even corporates, projects in the water sector, because this is the route that the circle was built on. So the circle is advancing, and as I had mentioned earlier, we have funds to lend to SMEs, which I believe Ubuntu is one of them, so that you can be able to access financing to undertake your initiatives. So we will welcome you to come pay us a visit, and we'll be able to assist you.
Thank you very much, Sam. In the interest of time, CPA June, if we keep it short, and then to Pascaline, and then Ruth.
Yeah, thank you. I'm responding to the question on the issue of projects. Yeah? And you are concerned that you did some kiosk, mobile, whatever, and only 2 are working. I would first say sorry for that. At least it was not in Kitui County. But I know you were paid. You got value for your money. Your worry is your name could be, it is him who installed. I would like to respond to this on the perspective of what we are doing as a county, and more so as a WSP. The issues of us as WSP is receiving projects which are not commercially viable. These issues are there. But when you look at the K-WASH program, where are we signing performance contracts with the county governments? Because most of these projects we are getting from the counties. On our end, we had a deliberate tuliweka kitu hapo for the minister. Izile tunaita the give and take, obligations of the county. I can even remember when I had that one, my minister called me and said, June utatoa. You can't be talking of commercially viable projects. Talk of technical viability. But then, what have we done? We've come up with a project handover framework as a WSP, which has already been taken over by we've agreed as a ministry. Since you're handing over to us projects, we need to have a framework on how you'll be handing over to us these projects. We must be present in the launch, in the implementation process, and during commissioning. So that we also give our inputs. For the purpose of kiosks, we have a kiosk policy. And in this one, you have to determine the commercial viability of our water kiosk. Issues about the distance between 2 water kiosks, the hours of supply, the water quality, the catchment, and such like things. So we've come up with policy documents on how to counter that. Thank you.
Thank you, CPA June. I want to give it to Pascaline.
Yep. Maybe let me also start by reacting to the concern by Ubuntu. Sorry, I've forgotten the name. Yeah, it's a pity, you know. And I think it all boils down to governance, okay, on the non-functioning kiosk. I think it all boils down to governance and leadership, and that's why we are saying, let's change the approach. Because if we are looking at performance for results, then hardly do you see these kind of approaches, because at the end of the day, you have to show the results. It's not the infrastructure. It is not how many kiosks you have constructed and how many ATMs you have put. It's more than that. It's how many people got new access. If you go to the other DLIs that have water access, that is the measure. And I can tell you, K-WASH is very tough, but I think this is the direction to go, especially in a country where you still have these governance issues. I would be curious to know which that county is. Not for anything, but because things can also be addressed, corrected. Maybe there's also a reason, as you said, maybe there's no water, there's a reason to it, but I do not, I'm not trying to justify the action, because the kiosk should not have been done there in the first place. I hope it's a K-WASH county, so that we can be able to to help. And please, yeah, don't shy away from telling us. Engineer Kirui here is the deputy coordinator from government side. Ellie is in the program. We have many of us in the program. So please tell them. And I think to the room, the World Bank encourages a lot citizen feedback. We actually would encourage very much working with CSOs because we want things to be done right. And you will not be victimized if you raise concerns. We have safe ways of raising concerns, grievances, complaints, all of them are welcome. If workmanship of projects is poor, even if you are seeing that we have been told there are results and there's access, please raise that. Of course, I'm welcome in making my job very hard because I have to respond to each of the complaints that we receive, but we are that open and we encourage that. And we encourage the same to our project counterparts from the government side. There's a grievance mechanism where complaints should be sent. So please don't shy away from raising those concerns. It takes courage for us to be able to enhance that things are done right. On your concern on R&D, it's not only R&D, it's also the technical support, technical transaction advisory that is required to get these projects so that Shadrach can get that project to be commercially viable. It needs someone to do all the upstream work. So I don't have national government, someone specifically from the ministry, but I would like to challenge our moderator to, as government, I think you should have this opportunity for supporting these upcoming SMEs so that when we go to these booths, we are seeing all these approaches and homemade solutions that are coming up, because we have a lot of solutions, some of them even coming from high school and university students who might not be able to go to the SACCO or to the bank to get money. So it's really a government approach, and I think it is you to craft that and then invite the partners, whether it is the development partners or all others who have provided these solutions, but can we have you shielding or providing an opportunity to upcoming SMEs. I like the approach taken by South Korea, and we were with some of you to South Korea. The government proactively supports their SMEs. You know, they have a program for them, and they finance them, and they all this incubation. And I think there's an approach in Kenya for some other sectors. So why don't we do the same for the water sector? So the challenge is really to the government. We've been trying to fill that need, especially for technical and transaction advisory, but I can tell you it is tough. We would want the government to do it from their end. So I hope that will happen, especially as we are seeing all these recommendations for non-revenue water, energy efficiency, and others. On de-risking, first let me start by saying all the 33, we are not expecting that all the 33 WSPs and a K-Wash will become credit-worthy and will go for commercial or private financing. No, that's a far-off dream. But can we get all of them at least to be governance compliant, to do all that regulatory compliance? So we are moving each from the lowest level they are at. If one did not even have any, I mean, Kitui MD June just told us they were not even being credit rated. Now at least they have an index. It might not be the best. So what can we expect on Kitui in the next 3 years? Can we clap for June in advance? Because in 3 years, I believe the banks will be looking for her, or maybe even sooner than that. The banks will be looking for her because the creditworthiness of that WSP will be higher. Others, we are not expecting much. I mean, if you see some of the graphs on non-revenue water or OCCR, there's a WSP with an OCCR of 10%. What do we expect? The best we'll be able to get them, even if we moved them to 50%, we'll be fine. But the few that are creditworthy and a K-Wash out of the 33, let's first move with those ones. And you know the de-risking measure that we provide is 50% of a returnable grant, basically lowering the interest rate. And Ellie and WSTF team can explain that better than myself. Perhaps, we invite other partners. There are some people who have said they are happy to provide an opportunity for those lower WSPs which will take time to be credit worthy, but we need to get them to the same spot. Maybe they need 80% grant and 20% from private financing, which is also okay based on where they are. But as they grow, they are moving up the ladder. The OBA project that was mentioned earlier, I think was 60%, 40%. Now we are at 50% and returnable, you know? So that is how we grow the sector. Yeah, but we have other partners who we are happy to work with to provide all these opportunities to even the non-credit-worthy ones.
Thank you, Pascaline, and we'll take the challenge on the issue raised on the government side with regards to supporting SMEs. I now welcome Ruth to also respond to the same.
Thank you. I'd like to start by saying KIFO has evolved over time. When it was first created, it was also supposed to support research and development and pilot innovative solutions. But then it was set up as a revolving facility. So discussions were held like, if you're supporting research, then how will it be revolving? And at some point then now that step changed. So KIFA could not actually support research because there is no way of recovering your money. So KIFWA supports SMEs and KIFWA supports dormant utilities. Our success story is a project in Makueni called Omitco Water Project, which operated for some years and then it became dormant. And they wanted to revive it. They came to KIFWA. We walked the journey with them through the process of project development. But then being in a rural area and looking at the financial requirements needed to do a system, this is a project that you do not rush to the commercial bank. So we got partners, one that is Africa, AMREF Health Africa. AMREF Health Africa came in as a partner that offered blended financing, giving 50% grant and 50% concessional loan to support the implementation of the project once we prepared the bankable proposal. Now, even going through that, many people still say we need record over time. Now, that forced KIFWA to change how we operate because theoretically, we were supposed to help you prepare the bankable proposal, help you fundraise. At the moment you get to financial close, our money is already loaded in the money you are fundraising. We'll get our money and we leave support another person. But then when we're talking to the private sector, they say, if what you're presenting to us is that good and it has a business case, why are you in a hurry to leave? So stay along. So for the sake of the investors' confidence, KIFWA stayed along in the Omitco project and did a follow-on just to build a record so that now, after some time, we can now go to the commercial or to the private sector for commercial financing. So yes, we do support SMEs. A success story that KIFA can also brag about is, I don't know whether you walk around and you see Pure Fresh. Pure Fresh is a startup. It was trying to upscale. For them to do that, they came to us. We helped through the market study. We developed a financial model. We did the business case. And they received financing and they managed to expand. So when we are mobilizing finance, it could come from development finance institutions, it could come from the private sector. It all depends on the financial structuring. What can the enterprise or the SME actually absorb? And we do that financing structure, and we also do fundraising, and we do also advisory. But then now looking at the WSPs and looking at the KWASH project, we realize that not all WSPs are covered. And one of the things is that if we have got to accelerate the non-revenue water management in Kenya, approach would be WASPA gets into a program where the members sign up into a program where you can easily access experts needed for specific activities, because maybe in-house you have the capacity to deal with the engineering designs or with the socio-economic studies, but you may not have the capacity to do the financial modeling and the financial structuring part of it, the financial advisory part of it. So you may just need to pick up experts that are needed to address specific issues that you cannot internally address. And in that program, we can very fast, whether in or out of KWASH project, accelerate the process of getting financing to tackle non-revenue water. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our panelists and also our participants for engaging on those questions. And I believe largely they have been answered and we want to welcome you to continue engaging with our panelists beyond this. As we bring this session to a close, what is our takeaway? That is a reflection that we should all have. That NRW is not just a technical issue, but there's a financing opportunity, because as you address NRW, it means more revenue for the utility. I now want to welcome our speaker to join us upstage, and also to invite our panelists that we will have a group photo. I've been told that we have to have a hard stop. It is exactly 1:15, and we don't want to get into the afternoon program. Thank you very much, and we welcome you again. Continue engaging even over lunch hour on the issue that has been raised on NRW, financing, DLI 8 under KWASH program. We have Engineer Peter Koech from the Waterfront who will also be supporting, so have that engagement. Thank you so much. Let us give them a round of applause to our panelists for quite engaging session. Asante sana. Let's move closer.
Thank you, esteemed panelists, for your very engaging conversations. Ladies and gentlemen, all our conference participants, it's time for lunch. We will proceed for lunch at the lunch.
When it comes to financing of water projects here in the country. And then we do have another bank here. This is Family Bank. Remember, financing is a very critical component when it comes to water access in the country. So lastly, we do have a Danco Capital, one of the companies that is also doing great things in the water sector. And we are talking about technology, we are talking about systems, we are talking about tanks and all that. So just allow me to engage their lead, Sanchin, just maybe to give us an overview in terms of what they do have right here. So thank you so much, sir, for your time. Maybe you can just take us through, what do you have as Danco Capital, and why is this conference so important for you?
Thank you. Do you want me to? Okay. Well, at Danco, we have a full end-to-end solution for water and sanitation. That's exactly why this conference is so important. What we try and do is make sure that the utilities are in the best knowledge in terms of what's coming, what's new, what's available. So we started with HDPE pipes and sanitation pipes, but actually now we focus a lot on water metering and how to improve metering, but also on high-end metering, digital metering, as well as our newest is actually on leak detection equipment, and where we can find leaks for utilities where basically they haven't found them before. So one of the big things that we're focusing on is commercial losses and technical losses, and if we can tackle both, we reduce non-revenue water, and that's our aim.
Okay, today is the second day of the Non-Revenue Water Management Conference. So far, so good. How has been the conference? And we see your booth is quite busy. So tell us more about how you're finding this NRW conference.
Actually, it's been amazing. Yesterday was really, really good. Today has just started, but yesterday we had so many visitors, including the CS, the PS, but also others that are just very willing to learn and very willing to engage with us. So it's got the right people, it's got all the stakeholders in one room. I think it's brilliant.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sanchin, for your time, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the good work. Yes, this is the second day of the Non-Revenue Water Management Conference here in Lake Naivasha Resort, and the conference will go up to Friday. Now we have the exhibition area, but also we do have a lot of presentations, abstracts, and papers, basically from research. What should be done to curb the non-revenue water losses? From the opening ceremony, we had the CS for Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, Engineer Eric Muga, and other stakeholders, including the Council of Governors representation and all that. So it will be very interesting to see the outcomes of this particular conference, and we'll be right here. We've pitched camp up to Friday to make sure that you are updated. So keep following the conversation online using the hashtag Non-Revenue Water Conference 2026, and follow the WASPA social media handles, because we are live streaming and we are giving real-time updates. So from the exhibition area, my name is Elijah Mwangi from Ankabe Productions. Let me take you back to the main plenary to follow the discussions.
As WASPA, we commit to publishing a sector non-revenue water progress report within 6 months from today to track implementation of commitments made during this conference and promote accountability across the sector. Let this conference, therefore, be remembered not simply as another sector gathering, but as the moment when Kenya's water sector collectively resolved to transform technology into measurable impact.
I want to say that there are a strong relationship between Kenya and Israel, and we really want to increase this relationship also in the field of water. And I'm very happy to announce that we will establish a water forum, Kenya-Israel Water Forum, that will start next year, that will bring together experts on water from Israel and Kenya, scientists, researchers, private sector, and that we are also planning a study trip of people from Kenya to Israel.
We are in the effort of ensuring that all agencies become bulk water service providers. And our bulk tariff is as affordable as they come. You are the pioneers in the ministry, in the sector on matters water. I now want to declare this non-revenue water conference officially open.